The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is Joey Osborne.
And Blanco Loco.
And we are live on the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Try saying that 4 times when you've had one too many drinks.
Don't you want to sound rich?
Welcome to Social Suplex Radio. Jeremy Donovan here with the young boy Josh Smith and Rich Latta. And we have a very special guest today. We have the captain, Aaron Nova, from the Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling promotion all over Florida. This guy is making the town.
TWI.
Drawing money.
Yeah, top talent out here.
The draw, man. The draw, you know what I'm saying? Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for having me. The captain has arrived. He's landed. He's landed right here, Social Suplex. How's everybody doing?
Good. I mean, we had to make some room out there for your spaceship.
Yeah.
Not every day you have a galactic captain coming in.
Thank you for the parking,
studio.
man.
Strong style studio.
yeah, strong style.
Yeah, he just kind of teleported in here, and it was like quite an experience.
Star Trek crap.
Yeah, mesmerized.
And immediately they chopped me as soon as I came in.
No. See, I would have chopped you, but I tried to ask you how to do a chop. You said that you couldn't show me.
Yeah, man, kayfabe. I gotta protect the biz, man.
We're just marks.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of marks with a podcast network.
Mr. Nova, do you do it like this or do you do it like this? And he was like, nah, kid.
Yeah. See, when I do it, my hand lights up, so it's different for me.
You just slap fire out of somebody's chest.
Yeah, my hand lights up, and if you people don't believe me, man, I guess you're gonna have to come to the show and see, man.
Yeah, man. So, where'd you begin? How'd you get started in wrestling, Aaron? For everyone that hasn't heard about you thus far.
All right, so I'll start off with the kayfabe story. Kayfabe, I'm a kid from the Bronx, so this is my my origin story right here. So, just a kid from the Bronx, you know, wrestling's always around. Who doesn't start off loving wrestling? For me, it was like I was from the Pride of the Bronx, or the kid known as Aaron. Projects from the Bronx. Wrestling kids in parks, you know, Walls of Jericho, you know, Stone Cold Stunners, Rock Bottoms in the park. You flip off and stuff. I'm Puerto Rican, so, you know.
I mean, if you didn't practice, how would you ever learn?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've been working, you know, I've been working for years now, if you really want to get technical.
Right.
Just not in a ring and not with wrestlers, you know. Slap boxing, I'm not a boxer. Slap boxing.
Shoot.
But yeah, wrestling is something that's always been around. I mean, for me, it was being a kid, I guess. What interests me, like seeing the reaction from my family when like guys like Stone Cold would come out, like the glass shatters and just whipping ass, and it was cool seeing them react to that. But for me, it was just like I loved it seeing their reactions. But for me, it didn't really hook me until I like started seeing guys like Rey Mysterio do it, and it was just like, oh, okay, so there's hope. Because I'm not gassed up. I'm not six.
You're not on the gas. You're looking kind of jacked over there, man. What do you mean?
Yes,
Like a 206 right now.
Heavyweight.
That's the high carb diet. That's the high carb diet right there. But yeah, man, stuff like that, like watching the emotion, but like seeing those guys do it, like the Rey Mysterios and the Dean Malenkos and believe it, Hurricane. I always loved that side of it, but then like I guess as the years go on, like you know, loved it, and then Daniel Bryan came about. Daniel Bryan came on the scene, and that's when that was the draw for me. That was like, I had to see this. Like, I have to see this live. I have to witness it. And at the time, like around my first like when I started making my own money, because I moved from Florida on the account of wrestling. The ironic thing was I pushed to move to Tampa because I really wanted to train with Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
So on the internet at the time, the Dean Malenko school, I was like, I have to go there. Like, let's move here. Let's move to Tampa. I really wanted to go to the Dean Malenko school.
Wow. That's commitment.
Yeah, dude. So when we moved out here, you know,
it was closed. So
And I feel like I've heard that story about the weird training stories, like Daniel Bryan actually.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to go to the Dean Malenko school, and he had sent them a deposit and all that stuff. And this was like in 99, 98. And it was like, we closed or something like that.
and ironically, 10 years later, in 2009, I moved down here. When I found out, it was closed. It was like, it became FCW. So I was like, oh man,
finessing Dean Malenko.
Yes.
That's like Jericho when he tried to go train with the Hart brothers.
Yes.
He gets there and there's no Hart brothers.
Yes, only a book.
Yeah, like Bruce, I think was like the first day to collect the money. But
Yeah,
He was
Bruce.
there to collect the money and then he left. He never trained them at all.
That's hilarious.
But I was just like a super mark. Like I'm fresh out of high school, and then it was a huge transition from New York to Florida. It was like a huge change of pace. So it was just like, oh, okay. But that, like wrestling, it was something I knew. Like, all right, I have to do this. If I don't do this, like everything else I do in life, I'm just gonna be miserable. Because it's just like I love it so much. Like you want to be a part, and then I started working overnight at like a gas station or something like that. 7-Eleven, actually, 7-Eleven. I was working at 7-Eleven overnights, and I was just, my manager hated me, so I wasn't getting much hours. But whatever little money I made, I like saved up, and it was just like, all right, my first check, I bought a Daniel Bryan shirt. Second check, it was like tickets to FCW, and then like just to get the feel of a live wrestling show, because I've been to one years ago, but it was like Nassau Coliseum, 1996. Like I was like you
don't really remember that.
Yeah, the only thing I remember was Diesel, Diesel's entrance, and Ahmed Johnson. That's all I remember.
Gang member, baby.
That's my oldest memory of wrestling, but like live. But everything else it was on TV. Like, but then my first wrestling show was FCW. I forgot who made it. As a matter of fact, the first FCW show I've been to was the debut of Bray Wyatt.
Nice.
Where he was Levi Wyatt, and he would come out with Eli Conway. That was the debut character. But still no Daniel Bryan. All right, so then I went to Monday Night Raw. This was right after he won the Money in the Bank, so it's like the biggest thing, because I was such a mark.
That's crazy that you were so into him when he was not even pushed. You know what I mean? Like at that point, like you had to really know about indie wrestling or have an eye for that sort of thing. It wasn't like he wasn't going through his mega run yet.
No,
he hadn't got kicked in the face and got pinned at WrestleMania yet.
Yeah.
To backtrack a little, what started all that, like when I first, like, because like I said, wrestling was always around, but it was just like you love the reaction. You see how it drives other people, but for you, it hasn't really hooked you. So for me, like, I didn't feel I can do it until I seen the Rey Mysterios and stuff like that. But even then, it was just like, it's just a weekly, like, it wasn't enough. Like, I was only seeing WCW and the ECW and WWE, but like, then outside of that, like, 2005, I think, was like YouTube came out and like the first.
Yeah, you start seeing like Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is all this?
Yeah, exactly. It was like,
Who's Samoa Joe? And why is he the baddest man on the planet?
it was like, oh, there's other wrestling, but WCW folded, and then TNA came out, and then we used to have the illegal cable boxes, so we would watch
Wow.
TNA, and it was just like, the first one I seen was Low Key versus Amazing Red. It was
Yes.
oh god,
yeah.
I used to love me Amazing Red.
Yeah.
He was so good.
because the only like high-flying, high-paced style you seen was Rey Mysterio, but then you see like there's a whole show full of these guys, and it's just like,
X-Division.
so it's just like Googling all these, and then I found like New York Wrestling Connection, and then I'll see guys like Xavier, the SATs, the Spanish announce team, and stuff like that. But these were like on like flash videos. Like, I don't know if you remember like the web page videos, and then you would only see like little snippets, and I didn't have money for the DVDs at the
They
time.
put like a little music video together.
Yeah. And the forum
Uber
pages.
real.
Yeah. But then YouTube came out, and then the first thing was the Ring of Honor welcome video. And
Yes.
they showcased all these people, and it was just like the one that stuck out was like CM Punk, because he had like the basketball shorts. He was dirty looking, and I was like, oh man, I'm a dirty ass Puerto Rican. I can relate to this
This is
guy.
right up my alley.
Yeah, it's like, and then he's straight edge, what I thought was so cool, because it's just like, I didn't like, peer pressure was like a big thing, especially at that time. It's like, I don't cave to peer pressure, and I'm dirty, so it's just like, this is my guy right here. And then like after a while, like you would stream matches and stuff like that, and then I would see Bryan Danielson, and then, like the way he used to just murder people, like just like at the end of the match, just turn these guys red and like twist them in a knot. It was just
The
like,
elbows.
Stretching.
The elbows that went on forever. He would just elbow people until they died. And you're like, who is this kid?
Yeah, the cattle mutilations.
Yeah. For me, it's just like that hooked me. Like, oh my god, this dude is. He's so nice. He looks like a superhero, but he murders them. Like, just twists them up.
Somewhere in the world, there are people that just hate Daniel Bryan. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know how. Like, he has everything. Like, he's entertaining. He's a murderer. Like, he can out wrestle anybody. He's got all the tools, but
All the things.
Yeah.
But being a fan of him, like at the time, like when he was Daniel Bryan, like you would get a lot of flack for it. Like for me, like I'd get a lot of shit from everybody. Like every time he gets squashed or something, like everybody looks at me. So like, fast forward, I remember I was at a party. This is when I first moved out here. I got invited because I used to work at the airport. After I left the gas station, I used to work in the airport, and no, I was still working at the gas station. There was a kid who worked at the airport that knew I loved wrestling. And he loved wrestling. So he invited me to the Money in the Bank, 2011. So I was like, yeah, I'm going. This is like, I was the only one there with my Daniel Bryan shirt. Like, first edition, great, shitty looking t-shirt. But everybody there was like Cody Rhodes and Wade Barrett, and this guy's gonna win. Daniel Bryan sucks. He has no like momentum, nothing like that. But I was just like, no, he's the greatest wrestler ever. You guys are all wrong.
Y'all don't know.
Yeah, it's like I love this. Like I think you guys love this, but
That's so funny.
yeah. And then he won, and it was just like I knew it. See, I told you. And then like the next couple of weeks, he was getting squashed again. And it was just like.
Yeah.
He still got the briefcase though.
Yeah, like, his time was gonna come. And then he said he was gonna cash in at WrestleMania, and I was just like, oh my god, WrestleMania is in Miami because John Cena and The Rock announced it. So I remember I was like working like 2-3 days, saving up whatever little money I had. I remember it's like a month or two before, like no, actually, yeah, a month before WrestleMania. I remember I saved up all this money. I bought tickets. Fan access, rental. I had a car, I had like a Nissan Sentra, and like a couple of weeks before, somebody slashed my tires.
Damn.
Wow.
So it's just like, oh god, that sucks. So I was just like, all right, let me just wait a couple more days, another check. You know, I'll break a little bit and I'll fix the tires. It won't be much. I'll still have enough to go to WrestleMania. I think it was 3 or 4 days before the trip, my car got towed.
Damn.
So it was
Sounds
just
like a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
It's like Sheamus.
set me up. Oh man, I'll get to that one in a minute too. But car got towed. And the little money I had, I think it was I was gonna take to Miami, and I was just like, it's either release my car, WrestleMania. I was at WrestleMania. Yeah, fuck it.
That's funny.
But WrestleMania, I remember worst card ride ever. But get there, I was like, we left in the middle of the night. We got to Miami at like 7 in the morning. I didn't even check in the hotel. I went straight to fan access, like no sleep, like. In my Daniel Bryan shirt, like I got pictures somewhere online. It's like me and Alex Riley and stuff. Like meeting all these people. But this was like my first, like, okay. I seen the show. I seen a small show. I seen the big show. Now, all right, this is the first time I get to interact with them. So it's just like the coolest one, like David Otunga, Rikishi, like everybody's like, oh, this is the greatest thing. And then the next day, and after that, I like knocked out, like slept all day and night. I was done. Then WrestleMania comes. Now WrestleMania, I'm 2 Daniel Bryan shirts on and like 90-degree weather. I got the sweatbands and I'm pumped. Like this is it,
Bro.
moment of life. Like this is my moment. This is all I worked hard for. Like I get to witness this live. Like he's the champ. He's the man. He's about to fucking mow Sheamus. Like. So I remember getting to the building and I'm talking a bunch of shit. Like I'm the hottest side, you know. So I'd pay to see Daniel Bryan. If you didn't see Daniel Bryan, you're at the wrong show. Like, yeah, The Rock is cool, but Daniel Bryan's the reason. I made it a point to let everybody know I pay to see him.
Yeah.
And then first match after the pre-show, the music hits and I'm doing backflips on my chair. Like this is the greatest thing ever. Like greatest WrestleMania entrance ever. And then.
Yeah, it happens.
So before that happens, like even before the show, so like I'm arguing with this guy. I was just like, yeah, man, I guess he was drinking or whatever. It was like a group of them, and they're like, because I'm marked out. Like this is my guy. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. He's gonna fight The Rock after everything. Like. But this guy was just like giving me shit, like, yeah, dude, like Daniel Bryan's gonna lose. Like Vince doesn't like Daniel Bryan, and I was like, no, fuck you. You don't know wrestling. You don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you, dude. You don't know anything. So he's like scalding me. So I'm like, whatever. Fuck off. Fuck you, guy. Random guy in this WrestleMania audience. I know who I came to see.
Session 385.
Yeah. Like, fuck this kid. He doesn't know wrestling. He's just coming to see a show. I'm coming to see Daniel Bryan. Wow. And then
jabroni.
Then the bell rang, and then everything went down south from there. Like immediately, as soon as it went 1, 2, 3, like everybody in that section, because I was
looked at you.
Everybody like stopped and like looked at me.
Oh man.
Like, so I'm like yelling like, no, fuck everybody, fuck everything. I was so mad. I had to get up and go to the bathroom because like people were just like laughing at me, and I was just like, no, fuck, you guys don't know. You guys don't know, so I was like, all right, whatever. I came and I was talking a bunch of shit afterwards. Shit talking don't stop. So I'm like, I'm walking, I'm raising my shirt up or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever, he'll get him next year. he'll come back. He's Daniel Bryan. He always bounces back. Yeah. And he did. And then, like, the next WrestleMania I flew up, he was the tag team champions with Kane. I seen that. So I seen him get his W. And then WrestleMania 30. So I was like, this is it. Like that was the crowning moment, like right there. Like I seen it. I seen him win the heavyweight champion in the main event of WrestleMania.
Not only that, beat Triple H.
Yeah. It was like beat Triple H, you a guy like at the time I despised because who didn't hate Triple H? You blame him for everything.
He's burying everybody.
Yeah.
RVD, Kane, Booker T.
Bro, I will never forget the video package before WrestleMania. The excellent propaganda where it's like the only thing that lasts is the game. They hit that propaganda package and it's like, oh my god, he's gonna beat Daniel Bryan.
Exactly. And you had that down. And it's funny because I met a writer on Twitter, an old WWE writer at I think it was like WrestleCon, the WrestleMania before it. I'd read his tweets and he would always talk about Triple H and how he was like this legit guy who buries everybody backstage, and it was just like, oh my god. And then when Daniel Bryan finally won, it was just like, okay. It was a huge sigh of relief, but then I'm like, oh, he still got Batista, because at the time everything was the part-timers. Like the part-timers would come and they'd just take the crown spot.
That was part-timer mania, that WrestleMania.
Oh my god, Taker, freaking, I wouldn't even put Jericho on it. Taker, Rock, they just come in, and then Brock Lesnar, and then they just steal the spotlight and just bounce. And it's just like these guys work so hard, build themselves, and then they just get fed to these guys, and it's just like, now they got to work hard again.
Yep.
But he won the belt. I remember I was in tears because I was like, I did it. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. We all did it.
Yes,
yeah, he won the belt for all of us. So, but right there, I was just like, all right. It's like, all right, stop, cheering your hero, be a hero. Mm-hmm. So I went to a DWI show.
What year was that? That was
2014.
2014, yeah.
So that's just 4 years ago.
Yeah. 2014. So I was like, I knew I got to do this. Like, this is it. Like, I bullshitted the years prior. Life happens. Like, got to go to work and shit like that. You realize life sucks. But wrestling was the only thing keeping me sane at the time. Like, this is a great thing. And then with the internet, like, fluctuating, like, there's so much wrestling around. Now I'm seeing, like, other wrestling. I'm seeing all Japan wrestling and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, all this stuff is great.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had like a clear idea of wrestling. So I thought at the time. So I was just like, I know wrestling. I know good wrestling is. I got this, man. So I didn't know where to go though. I was like, when I used to work in the airport, I used to meet all these wrestlers and like Yoshitatsu, the Usos and stuff. Yeah. And eventually I'd ask around like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Like, what do you think? Like, I remember Armando Estrada.
Armando Alejandro Estrada.
Yeah, that's the one. I asked him, I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And he was just like, I see you as a referee.
Oh,
So immediately,
man.
yeah.
Oh, man.
I was crushed. I was like, oh, man, I don't know. You know, having second thoughts. And then going around, met Austin Aries. And he was just like, I was like, look, man, you don't know it, but like, you're a huge inspiration, you know? Like, you taught me how to talk the talk. And he was just like, yeah, man. He was like, yo, you see this? He was talking about my height for those who can't see, but he was like, you see this? This doesn't mean anybody can give you shit. Like, you're the man. Like, I was just like, yo, you're right. I am the man. So I was like, I had class. So I was like, all right. So I'm like hitting the gym now. I met up with a buddy. It was Iceman, Ian Frost at the time, and he was like, yeah, I'm trying to do this too. So we're in the gym, we're working out like 3 or 4 days a week, and we're trying to figure out like, all right, when are we gonna do this? Like, where are we gonna go? Like, we don't know anything. Like, because I came here from Malenko school, and apparently that's been closed down for like a decade now.
That man's the age of it.
Yes.
That man getting Vince money.
Yep.
So, so we're just looking around, and we finally saw, because we knew like we can't go to FCW. They're looking for Division I athletes. They're looking for the jack guys and stuff like that. I was like, we won't last. Like, look at us. We're like, we're two kids from the hood. Like, there's no way. Like, they're not gonna give us another look. So then we were gonna settle like with the Wild Samoan school and Mineola or something like that. And then I think like the day before, we were gonna like band together and just ride out there and check it out. His brother knew a guy who wrestled at this one spot, which was DWI. So it's like, all right, we go to the show or whatever. We meet the guy afterwards who happens to be Leo Bryan now. I don't know if you know Leo Bryan with the one half of the Dirty Blondes.
Oh, yeah, we ran into him. The last show.
Awesome, dude. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now is because of him. You know, without him giving us the plug, we watched the show and he was just like, yeah, you know, there's guys here that they don't have bodies. You know, I'm not a talker, but they give you a chance to live the dream. You know, this is where you would want to start. So we went there, we met the guy. I was working 2 jobs at the time because I was like, all right, I'm saving up money. I want to pay my bills and I want to get this done. Like, this has to be done. So I think Ian started like a month before me. I was still working 2 jobs. I was still saving enough to break away, and then took my first bump.
How was that?
Yeah.
Oh man, the build up to that day was just like, all right, I'm going to wrestling school. I have my Ultimate Warrior shorts on, and I was just like, I'm pumped. I'm like crying in tears. I'm telling my parents like, all right, this is it. I'm gonna be a wrestler. And they're just like, yeah, whatever. Lock the door.
Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Probably. So, and then I walked in, and it was Frank Reyes at the time was the head trainer. Told me to get in the ring, told me the etiquette. And then I took my first bump, and it was just like, whoa, I did it. It's like, it sucked, but it was just like, this is the feeling. Like,
Yeah.
even though like a couple of days before I was on YouTube looking at like how to properly bump. So when I was bumping, they were like, oh man, this kid's a natural and stuff like that. I was practicing on my mattress. I'm a fraud. Kayfabe. That's the
Well, you told
kayfabe.
us you've been working before you were even working.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know what?
You already knew the offense. You just had to
If I
kind
can
of.
bump in a park, I can bump anywhere.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
No, but for real, you know, you say it sucks, but like, you know, I don't think any of us here. Well, actually, Jeremy's taking bumps, but me and Rich never have.
Nah.
Like, you know, explain to us like literally, because you hear people say that, but like, is it as bad?
The
as
first
people really
bump?
say?
It's man, for me, I guess what made it worth it was because I loved it so much.
Right.
But first bump, man, it felt like a lightning bolt. Like, think about it. Like,
Embrace the bump.
yeah, how many times you throw yourself on the ground?
Right.
Think about it. When's the last time you fell down?
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah, on
Like, even if
purpose.
you fall, it's like, all right, you're going to try to break your fall with
Yeah,
your arm.
you roll down.
You could break your
leg
arm.
first.
See, the only experience I have with that is like doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu, like judo stuff. But when you fall, you purposely are rolling on a shoulder
Right.
or a hip or
So
something.
you're playing football or
Yeah,
something.
you're not taking a flat back bump. Like, I've never done that. And I have no parameters to even think about what that must be.
I remember when I was a kid, I was probably about 7 years old, and there were some folks that were older than me, probably about 10 years old, and I took a spine buster on the grass, and I felt like I just got completely
Did you tuck your chin?
Oh no! It was just I just got the wind knocked out of me, and I was like, oh my god,
that's a bad move.
Spine buster,
That's not how you start.
Yes.
That's not the way to go.
I was scared straight after that.
Yeah,
but I heard Chris Jericho once say it fit, like, if you could imagine being like ass naked and someone throwing a bucket of ice cold water over you, is that like a comparable?
I mean, everybody experiences it different. Like for me, I felt all the bones in my body. Like, oh man, this is my whole body right here smacking against. And this ring, I love this so much because it was just like, again, guys, I'm a dirty ass kid from the project, so I love the dirty. It was this dirty ass smelly canvas. It was the wooden boards with like maybe like quarter inch like the mats, those puzzle mats. Right over that, and then this canvas, which was like taped up, smelled like shit. It was great. It was great. But
so you feel the metal and everything.
Yeah, I guess with the bounce and the noise, it took my mind off from the fact, but I still felt like all the bones in my body like, oh man, this sucks. I gotta keep doing this. So it was just like, oh, all right, yeah, you were good. And then it was like, do it again. All right, try this bump. Try this. Oh, and then it was run the ropes. Running the ropes was like the worst part. Like for me, like my back was all marked up from the ropes because the ropes bite. That was the hardest part because they're stiff as hell. They're cables. It sucked, but I went home that day and it was just like, oh God, I can't wait till tomorrow to do this again. So I was still working 2 jobs. So I would work 2 jobs and then train 2 days, Thursday, Friday afternoon, and then Saturday, Sunday morning. And then Sundays would be the blow-up drills, which was like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I didn't come into this an athlete. I am not an athlete. I'm too short for basketball, which is the only sport that they provide in the Bronx. The only thing I can do is run really fast, and maybe that's about it. Like I'm a little quick, but it was just like, all right, it's the first blow-up drill was just like, all right, it was the deck of cards, if I'm not mistaken.
What's that?
Well, Frank Reyes, he comes from the old school Malenko days, and it was just like, all right, before we get into the ring, we have to do a number of push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. So the deck of cards, like, one represents squats, one represents this, push-up, sit-up, squats, and then I think the jack was like, all right, 100 of each.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was,
bro.
It was, and I'm not an athlete. Like, that was the first time I was just like, okay, I can't do this. You know what? I got this far, but I don't think I can keep going. Like, I remember puking, crying in tears, like, I don't think I can do this. And everybody's like smoking it, exhausted, and I was just like, so I remember pushing through that, and it was just like the push-up, sit-up, squats. That was done. It was just like, all right, now you got to do 10 Hindu push-ups and 25 wall push-ups and wall bridges and jump rope and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I just wanted to get in the ring. I didn't know about all this extra stuff.
A match. Man.
Yeah, I just want to be the world champion.
Just put the belt on. Like, I'm a star. Like, I know wrestling. Like, I don't have to do this because I know wrestling.
What does this have to do with cutting a promo?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Now, you say all the blow-up drills and all that. Did you feel like you were in shape physically, like, at the time for that?
At the time, I thought I did.
Okay.
I thought I had a decent...
As compared to now, like...
Yeah, well, now maybe I got a little worse now. But at the time, it was just like, okay, I felt like somewhat athletic because I was lifting weights. Mm-hmm. But...
What were you eating, like, around then?
Shit, a bunch of shit. I wasn't into dieting then. Yeah. But it was brutal. So it was just like, okay, I thought, I was pretty strong. I had a decent look. I lift weights. But no, the first thing this guy tells me is the old man used to tell him, you can't hip toss a dumbbell. And I was just like, oh, shit. Well, it's like, you got to work on your legs. You got to strengthen your legs. Your legs are the strongest part of your body. So I was like, oh, man. He's like, you're going to go in the ring, and then if your legs give out, you got nothing to do. You know, that's gonna carry you throughout all this. So I was just like, it was tough, but you know, we pushed through it. I mean, I probably dodged a couple classes like blow because it sucked. It was a lot of shit to do, but now I wish I would have kept it going because I would have been fucking physical Pete, man. You know, I would have been running and gunning, but
Well, we can do it right now.
I did mine this morning. You're good, man. I already did 100 squats. Ric Flair style, like wake up squats. But
Amazing.
that was a key element. Like, I mean, if anybody's listening and is trying to get into wrestling, man, start squatting, man. You got to have some kind of athletic endurance somehow to carry you in, like, because a little bit of time, man, 2-3 minutes, man, you out of breath, you sucking wind. And it's happened to me. That's the live and you learn part. But you know, me being naive, thinking I know wrestling, I can cut a promo, I can sell.
Yep.
I'll just sell around for 5 minutes. You know, I'll work a hold. You know,
I'll bump around.
yeah. So.
Is it time to jump into the burying yet, or should we wait?
How many minutes are we?
We're like 30 minutes in.
Oh man, well that was my origin. I started working hard, and then I made my debut that August in a battle royal. And I think like 3 or 4 minutes in, I took a body slam, and the dude knocked the wind right out of me. And
Man!
But that was like the first time I was like, all right, these like it was a bunch of kids. They don't know who I am. But they would cheer me, and then like when I got eliminated, it was like the biggest reaction. If anybody wants to fight me on this, go to my page and look the match list. So, you know, but that was like, oh man, I got to keep this going. But after a while, you know, I took like a couple of months off. Some nonsense happened, some wrestling nonsense. Took time off, and then I got booked in the Panhandle after that. I was like, oh man, this is my first road trip. Like, oh, I'm in. And it was just like I wrestled James Morrison.
John Morrison?
James. no, not that hot ticket. No. James was there. There's Jim Morrison, John Morrison, and James Morrison.
So you got the third biggest
Yeah,
one, so that's okay.
I'm working my way up.
This was about to be like a Dusty, remember when he was like, I won the world title on my first night?
Yeah. I was the world champ.
But I wrestled him, and then back to the cardio thing, like 2 minutes in the match, and I'm sucking wind.
Dead.
And this is learning how to work part. Like, he carried me through that match. I don't know how, because I was choking, I was turning blue, I was about to die. And after that, I was like crying in the back, like, I'm a failure. Like, it's like, what am I doing? Like, why do I think I can do this?
Do wrestlers that have good cardio, do they pride themselves on blowing other guys up like that out there?
That's the thing with wrestlers. Like, everybody's a character. You're gonna get your dicks who are like that, who want to challenge that. But the great thing about wrestling is, you know, there's a little bit for everybody. So, you know, there's guys that would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. Like, at the time, guys take me to the limit because that's the only way I'm gonna get better.
Yeah,
Right.
But yeah, there's guys like that who fucking try you. I got tried for 2-3. I'm not gonna lie. This probably is the first year where people actually started giving me my props and the proper cred. Like, all right, this kid, he can work.
Because you've been paying dues.
Still do.
Yeah.
You can't stop paying dues.
Well, like, we're at the shows. We're at the Tampa Bay Pro shows. We see you all the time. And, I mean, like, you know, Nova's, I mean, somewhat, not a full vet, but you've been wrestling for a few years now. And, I mean, you still take down the ring. You still put up the chairs. I mean, like, you're still out there paying your dues.
It's etiquette. It's one of the key things in wrestling is cardio, and then there comes etiquette. Man, etiquette is just what I was instilled in, because when we used to, it was after I graduated and we switched buildings, but we used to tear the ring down from my trainer's backyard and then go to the flea market where we would run the shows, build the ring, set the chairs up, wrestle 10, 15 minutes, and then knock it all down and drop it back at the backyard, build it again, and it was just like 2 weeks. It was the same thing. So it was just like...
How long does that take? Sounds like a full day of work.
Honestly...
Probably bring a ring down in, what, about 2 hours, maybe?
About 2 hours. It depends on if you with slackers. Luckily, my trainer's a hard ass, so he's gonna call you out on your shit. You're not slacking, so I'm just like, I don't want to hear this motherfucker's mouth.
Right.
And the ironic thing is, the guy at WrestleMania who was shit talking me is my trainer.
Oh.
that's the cosmic karma that is wrestling.
Oh man, so I bet you let him have it after WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, like we were setting the ring up for something like that, and he was talking about WrestleMania, and I was just like, wait a minute.
Flashback.
It's like he was talking about this Daniel Bryan mark, and I was just like, where did you sit? What did you wear? And he was telling me, I was like, believe it or not, I'm that kid. It's like,
that's me.
Yeah.
So how about it now?
Yeah. It's like, I'm still a mark. Like, hold on, this is Daniel Bryan.
And then you got his face and you're like, yes!
Yeah. And then after that, like, we huge popped and we were laughing because by then it's just like, we're cool. And then it's just like, the ironic thing is just like, the shows I went to after that, he ended up being there. And he was still pissing me off. Like a Raw after that, like, I don't know if y'all remember the Raw when Rock came to town in Tampa.
Yeah, I was there for that, yeah.
And it was
we were all there for that.
But we didn't know each other.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So that's the great thing about wrestling. It's just like, y'all don't know it, but y'all all connected somehow.
Yeah.
But he had this like stupid Ryback sign because Ryback was the shit at the time, and it's like he was right in front of me, kept holding it on. I'm like, oh my god, like made it miserable. But then afterwards, you know, he trained me. We became tag team champions in DWI or whatever. But not to divert from the etiquette, that's how it was. It was, you know, 9 a.m, get there, start knocking this shit down, start loading that U-Haul truck, and it sucked. It was like 3 or 4 of us, but I loved it so much. Like,
you weren't gonna let nothing like
DWI.
It's temporary.
Yeah,
Like
it gave me the chance to display who I am. Like it gave me that creative freedom to express myself in wrestling. So I felt like I owe it to DWI, not Tony. Tony, my trainer, was great. Don't get me wrong, but I was more so infatuated with the idea of DWI. The message is sent out, like giving guys an opportunity that wouldn't get a second look.
right.
So, and that's what he taught us. Just work hard, you know, set up, you know, you go in, you introduce yourself, you don't talk shit.
Can you confirm something for me? The handshake. So now Josh like didn't know about this. It's something like me and Jeremy kind of like picked up just listening to a bunch of podcasts and all that. When you meet, you know, someone else like in the business, can you tell like pretty much like it's light handshakes?
Is that still a thing?
Is that still a thing?
I'm gonna be honest. I guess not, because for me, it's just like there's so many fucking guys, and then like, especially in the Florida scene, it's just like you see them over and over. The light handshake, it really don't bother me. Like, I don't really like touching people that long anyway. Like, these is grown men. Like, to me, it don't bother me. I mean,
but do people still do it though?
The light handshake, just the tap. I mean, some do. Some veterans do. Some veterans will preach this etiquette that you got a firm handshake and got to introduce yourself and all that. They would preach all that, but then give you their finger. 2 fingers. Oh, yeah, hi. You know, they don't even, no grip or nothing like that. It's just...
You know what's strange? So they told me about it, right? But I never heard of it. And, you know, we go to shows for years now. We've been meeting wrestlers. And I can't tell you how many of them, once they told me that, where I was like, why'd that guy give me, like, just a couple fingers or whatever? and I was like... Why are these big giant wrestlers not giving me firm handshakes? And then I realized what it was, and like they told me, and I was like, "That's not real." And they're both looking at me like, "You Mark, you don't know."
yeah, dude, you're not gonna.
I've worked in wrestling just a little bit, but you know, nothing like you have, of course. But yeah, man, like with, you know, everyone that you've wrestled so far and all that, like, who would you say, like, has been, like, someone that has really meant a lot to you in a positive or negative light, even? And if you can't drop a name, that's fine.
I'm burying everybody.
Everyone, come on, let's go get the
PSG,
shovels.
I hope you're listening because you're first.
We haven't got to talk about PSG.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to PSG.
We're going to get to you, brother.
We need to bury
man, a guy that, other than my trainer, Tony Devlin, just because, for me, like, he's a promoter. He ran DWI. So seeing the stuff he went through, like, with different people, like, you meet egos, you meet all types of people. Like, me, I'm just a wrestler. I'm just here to work, do my thing, you know, get over, take a couple pictures, hopefully. You know, I'm just trying to get over, man.
Get a couple rats?
Yeah.
All right.
Stay away from rats.
Yeah, I know. Like sometimes I'll come and I'll complain, and I'm like, "Why'd that guy go over?" And you're like, "I'm not the booker, man. I'm just the
Exactly.
wrestler."
That's the first thing I said. Because, yo, it's wrestling, man. Like, it's like you watch Monday Night Raw and you guys talk. You're so passionate about it, but when you do it and you're on the show, like, imagine the guys in WWE. Look at the CM Punk podcast. Look how he let loose and let a year's worth of stuff. Like, let loose.
That could literally have been any of those guys that they
like, you
pulled
don't
out
know
of the
what
locker
they're feeling.
room.
Like, picture...
Can you imagine if Dolph Ziggler did a podcast?
Yes, imagine the Dolph Ziggler podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Oh yes,
Or the Undertaker podcast. Like, imagine how many
like
guys
this man made me wrestle all these sorry motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, Kali, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, but it's
Giant Gonzalez.
Good God.
that's the first thing. Is I ain't a booker.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
just a
man.
wrestler.
He told me I was gonna wrestle Bundy at WrestleMania. Like,
It's like,
That man put me in a handicap match with Big Show and A-Train.
good God.
yeah, oh yeah, Mankind. He took some years off my life.
And then Vince came to me and he said, "You're gonna face yourself, damn it."
I could have. I wonder how those conversations go. That'll be great, man.
It's gonna be money.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of that, man. You get a lot. That's
Would you ever want to be a booker?
me,
Like 20 years down the line.
Booker.
For Social Suplex.
No, when we start our promotion, we're gonna need.
If you guys start up your promotion, you know, I'd help produce it, man. I'll give you insight. I can't
Put
book
the
you.
belt. Put the belt on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll start with
that.
just put you on top, man.
Don't give it to me, man. You gotta let me earn it.
We're gonna be like, Nova, what do you think we should do? Put the belt on me.
Let me beat everybody.
Yeah, that's-
What do you do next? And then I'll beat everybody.
Put the belt on me and I'll beat everybody. Hardcore Holly.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
But it's a tough game, man. There's a lot of different insights to it. That's why me right now, I can't book because I'm just trying to get over me.
Right.
I'm trying to. It's a dog eat dog world in wrestling. It's even with the Sharks.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, not to blow you up because if
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna,
I'm blown up already.
But like, if you know, to get yourself over, you know, we come to your shows, we see a lot of different guys, and guys are out there and they're just wrestling. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys they're trying to learn, you know, the trade or whatever. They're just wrestling. But you are out there and you get it because like we mark for you, and it's not just because we know you or whatever. I'm like, this guy is freaking hilarious. Like the bumps you be taking, the stuff,
facial
facials, the stuff you're saying in the match.
Just yell out randomly at somebody.
The stuff you be yelling, it's so freaking
And
funny.
then, you actually like to work on developing your
You have a
character.
character.
You
Your
do
character.
the promo videos on Facebook, the captain's log.
I think I told you like the first time I met you, like all that stuff, like when we were talking about like that's gonna be the ticket for you. I feel like.
It's you gotta like for me. All right, look at me, man. Am I packing houses? Are they lined up to see the 24-inch pythons? Like I'm two-tone tan. Like it's tough because I know me. I can't do a 450 yet.
Yeah.
Keyword yet.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm gonna hit it by the end of this year. But I know me. So I see the competition. I see the audience. So it took me time to realize and hearing from legends. That's why podcasts like this are so. This is
Like
treasure.
we want to try to like give like you an outlet for like this is another opportunity for like people that might not know you.
Yeah.
Like to like
Check you out, yeah.
I appreciate what you guys. I love what you're doing. The fact that I seen you guys and I wanted to get on board. That's the way the Florida Circuit podcast started up.
Right.
I wanted to create this outlet for the guys like me who are offering something different, and they need an outlet to let people know, yo, I'm grinding. Like this is it. Like this is the hustle. This is how it started. This is the goal. Like this is what I want to do. For me, it took time. It took, for me, like the first year or two, I wanted to learn the job. Just learn how to work. I mean, I was in navy blue tights and green knee pads, and I think I had a football jersey on, like a Galaxy football jersey. I didn't know. I was the swag-tastic super thug. that right there, that's evolution, baby.
you got to break that out one day and be like yeah, throw back to the old gimmick.
When The Rock and me have a concert battle, I might pull out the swag-tastic super thug.
Yeah.
I might. But at first it was learning to figure myself out, learning what I can do, what I do well, what I don't do well, because I had guys like a Jerome Hendricks would pull me to the side and he was just like, well, I see you were frustrated about this, give me insight, stuff like that. Then I'd go on and listen to podcasts like from guys who made it, like Jake the Snake on Stone Cold's podcast, Jericho's podcast, stuff like that. Like, and then hearing his ideology on wrestling, okay, this is how I get over. I get over by just working. I'm not going to squash a guy. That's not how I get over.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it's just picking apart little bits and pieces and then, go in the ring every other weekend and then push myself to the limit. Keep pushing myself. Take 100 chops. Take chops from Flesh Massa. Learn something from him. Come home with bloody chest and stuff like that. Go to the beach the next day. You got a big ass handprint. Like,
I mean, we're in the room with you right now. You got a bruise on your bicep.
Oh yeah, that's clearing up. It was actually worse yesterday. I got multiple bruises and.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. We were at the CEO show last night. You were there too, and obviously you're a huge fan of wrestling, just like we are. But I was like, I thought about because you were behind us, and I was like, man, and like. We watch wrestling and we watch it for entertainment. And I'm like, but Aaron's back there, like, you're probably like studying ideas.
I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm still a fan. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard loving it and studying it.
Yeah.
It's fucking impossible. For me, like, the network is great or YouTube, but you'll watch it, like, and then it's just like, oh man, that was cool. Oh, this and that, and oh, he's working, and then it's just like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, what did he do? Wait, and then you got to go back. A 10-minute match is gonna take a half hour for me because I got to keep rewinding because I mark out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mark out, and I'm just gonna go back, and I'm gonna try to understand what he's doing, like.
Right. Like I saw a match speaking of Jake the Snakes, he was wrestling Rick Steamboat. And it was just classic. Like, Rick Steamboat was trying to chop him, so he's blocking it. Who blocks a chop in wrestling? You know what I mean? Right. And that was the whole story of the match. They based the whole story of the match around him blocking, and I was like, Jake's doing something different that is so simple. He's not taking a bump. The match is getting over because he's just blocking the chop, and no one else in wrestling is blocking something. You know what I mean?
Chops is a funny thing to me. Chops is a funny thing to me. Like, I heard Chris Jericho on his podcast when he was like, Ken Shamrock shot on him because he was just like, oh, well, you were doing chops. That's pussy shit. Like, then you really think about it. I'm letting this man slap my chest. Like, it is. Like, it's so weird. Like,
I know Bret Hart hates chops.
Yeah. But think about it. Like, to me, like, a lot of guys rely on that. Like, it gets a reaction because it's just the noise.
Right. Yeah. And plus, it's everybody woos with the chop from Ric Flair. No matter who chops now, everybody woos with the chops.
So for me, it's just like, all right, I try to go into my match like, all right, I don't want to reference Ric Flair in my match. I was like, I want to.
But you did the old man flop the other day.
That's different. That's working, baby.
Something else.
That's working. But no, like stuff like. But they won't chant. They won't woo after that. Like they're not going to chant Ric Flair. Like for me, I have to create something different because I have to understand my audience and understand my opponents.
Yeah.
So it's hard when I'm first match. I have to set the tone, so I got to be a little extra. But it's sometimes good to go after the first one because you see, all right, who's the wrestling fan and because I've been on shows and they'll put on technical spectacles, but it's not a wrestling show. So you have to be. They won't be entertaining. It'll be dead silence. They're putting on good wrestling, but nobody's reacting because it's not a wrestling crowd.
Yeah, there's a match we saw you in recently, and you got you took that big splash from that larger wrestler. What's his name?
Damn, David King.
Yeah. And
Mary David King.
And your cell job after that is literally one of the most entertaining things on the entire show. And I was like, this like.
I don't know if the crowd doesn't get it or what. Like it?
What cell? I was in pain.
That was real.
There's no going around that. That kid is massive.
Yeah.
He is a massive kid, and he was a defensive lineman, and he tackled the shit out of me. That was all real. Like,
what work? Right?
Yeah, like I was literally like when he splashed on me, I felt my back realign and all the air flattened.
Wow.
I was done. I was like, I'm so glad this is the ending because that sucked.
Someone else we saw on that same show was your opponent coming up. PSG.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. PSG, man. Let me tell you something about PSG. I don't like him. I'm not going to bullshit y'all. I don't like him. I don't. I don't. I think he's all hype. Like, that's it. He's a blog wrestler, you know. That's
like one step down. That's like a blog boy, like Kevin Durant talking about blog wrestler.
Like,
Explain
man,
what that is.
You're doing this for like what? A couple pictures and for your blog to let people know, like, oh, this is my dream. Like, WWE, like, look at me, like
you don't care about his dreams.
Yeah, like, nah, my dream matters. Like, you know what? That's great that you would come out in your debut match with your own cameraman.
Yeah.
And all this.
And your fraternities.
Yeah, you bring your college buddies, your baseball buddies here to.
Are they gonna show up to every show?
I don't think so.
Yo.
Are you the draw? Are you the draw you say you are? I mean, my first show, I invited my family. But that was just because my first show. But then after that, then I realized it was just like, oh, okay, this is a one-off. No, I'm trying to do this. So, for me, I work hard on building my brand and my audience and my fan base. I wouldn't even call it fans. These are supporters of me. Like, you guys are my supporters. I support Shai. I support me. We in this together. Like, you know, each one bring one up, man. That's wrestling for me. I want to touch lives the way wrestling touched my life. Like, if I can influence one person, I made it. But for PSG, man, it's just like, my voice changed now that New York accent came out. let me do my work voice. But yeah, PSG, man, it's just, I think honestly he's just a punk. I don't think he wants it. And this show, I mean, they want to call it, they want to dictate this match. And that's not going to happen. I hate to break kayfabe, but that's not what's going to happen. Like, we're going to go in and we're going to work. He's going to work the same way I worked for it.
You gonna blow him up?
Yeah, no.
Are you gonna be that guy?
He does CrossFit. I won't be that guy, but I'm gonna show him, like, to me, every match is a match for the top spot. Mm-hmm. I want the top spot. I'm working hard for this. In the ring, with my selling, if I'm going under, I'm going over. That's how I gotta go over no matter what. For him, it's just like, this is just a fun YouTube video.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This isn't YouTube for me. This is my life. You know, you might love it, but I love this, and I love it so much, I want to be the top player. So the fact that, okay, I opened this last show in a triple threat match for POW, and it was just like, I don't want to open. I want a main event.
Right. And
now you're gonna put me in the special event, co-main event possibly because of him. I'm the worker. So, you know.
Yeah, so drop the date and the promotion of when that's happening.
Pride of Wrestling, St. Petersburg, Police Academy League. That's what, July 24th? I'm sorry, I just got so many shows in my head.
This man's booked all over, y'all. So we're gonna let him pull out the dates and all that. But we saw PSG at his last show, and I didn't think he was a bad wrestler or anything. He was,
quite contrary. When he started, he's fine. He's
fine, but
baseball player,
I'm just wondering if those same fans gonna show up all the time. Right, it's just
my big problem with it is this. Okay, if you're gonna bring all your supporters, that's fine. Bring your supporters. But if you're gonna bring all these people who clearly never been to a wrestling show, you talked about like etiquette. Teach them about
that. Can't go over well in the back. That can't go over well in the back. And I might be overspent. Like now, I know obviously the goal of wrestling is to make money, and you got all these people in the audience. Obviously, that's good for the gate and everything like that. But I imagine other wrestlers are looking at that like that's the most mark shit.
Yeah.
What that one could do. Right? If I'm on base, let me know.
I'll put it like this. And I hope PSG hears this, because this is as real as it's gonna get. Like, this is kayfabe, all that wrestling. This is real. They weren't chanting PSG in my match.
Wow.
They were booing Aaron Nova, which kind of hurt my feelings. But you know what? They weren't cheering PSG. So we're going to work July 21st, St. Petersburg, Florida, 6 p.m. I hate to say the whole Gettysburg address, like in most wrestling promos. I don't know if y'all seen it. But
we'll put the address in the show
July 21st,
notes.
man. I just hope PSG brings it, because this isn't going to be a match for his blog, his charity, his YouTube page. This match to me is for my top spot. This is for me to showcase, like, all right, I'm a main event player. I want this. Like, I want to be main event of every show. I want to be every champion. I want all the belts. Like, I want to go into this match and leave this match and have them say, like, damn, we got to put all the belts on Aaron Nova.
Ultimo Dragon style.
Yeah. I want to be
Aries, belt collector.
Like, I don't want this guy who just, you know, he's what, like 6'2", some CrossFit, and he had Kurt Angle shot.
Pretty boy, you know.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's cool. You got Kurt Angle and Titus O'Neil, and you got your friends and family. Like, all right.
Well, I kind of felt like we showed up and the house was packed. I'm like, what is going on? What are all these people wearing these pink shirts? You know, and that's cool and it's great. I want people to show up. I have no problem with that. And if he brings his own fan base, that's cool. Yeah. But you know, we've been coming to these shows for a while. You know what I mean? Like, this is the promotion that we attend. And it's like, y'all just freaking hijacked the show. You got people in there working and you guys are chanting out PSG. And then, you know, everyone kind of lets them do their thing. The match comes up. He has his match. He has his moment in the sunlight. He leaves.
And they're still chanting PSG.
Hijacking the show.
Kind of reminds me like the Daniel Bryan chants and stuff like that. Are we hypocrites right now?
No. It's a totally different scenario because this one guy is clearly getting underutilized, and one guy is making
his debut in the business.
Absolutely. And he's number 3 on the card when it's like you didn't earn it yet, bro. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You didn't earn that.
Let me tell you something. And this is our first real conversation we'll see at the shows, and like I say it all the time, I ain't the booker. I'm just a wrestler, you know what I'm saying? But for somebody like me and a lot of guys, like, I'm at every Tampa Bay show. Mm-hmm. I try to be the first one there, I try to be the last one to leave. I try, you know, set up, what do you need me to do? Company, I'm a team player, just like I was for DWI. Is what bred me. Mm-hmm. Definitive Wrestling International and Ruskin is what bred me. There's a show this Sunday. If anybody interested in going, we can throw the fly out. But cheap plug. Yep, but I gotta show love to my home base. But
we're all about cheap plugs here. You know.
But first one in, last one to leave. I'm setting up. I'm drenched sweat. You know, and then for a number of months, they didn't have nothing for me.
Creative has nothing for you.
I remember one of those shows. I was like, "Whoa, what you doing here?" I was like, "Are you booked?" He was like, "Nah."
Exactly.
Yeah, and it was crazy.
We're sitting next to a guy where he was at the shows when they had nothing for him. We're like, "What are you booked?" Nah, but I'm here.
Nah, I'm here.
But I'm here.
Yep.
I'm here. I didn't, you know, I took it with a grain of salt because I've been on shows with guys who felt like they were the hottest shit. You know, and I've worked those guys, and they were not. You know, there's guys who, you're not going to book me, then why waste my time? That's not how I was brought up. You know, I'm gonna do things the right way. I'm gonna make y'all laugh. I'm gonna shake your hand. I'm gonna shake everybody's hand. I'm gonna help set up, and I'm gonna help tear down. Because to me, it's not. People think it's schmoozing or you trying to. No, I'm trying to earn it. I'm trying to earn this, and then give me an opportunity to showcase. And baby, I'm gonna showcase. I'm gonna do my thing.
And it's like the thing is like, yo, they want, like, the way like wrestling has always kind of been explained to me and how the training works. They want people that want to earn it like that. And I feel like if you're looking at someone that is trying to earn it like you, like sideways or something, that's hating. Like,
it's tough. So it's just like, all right, I held it down. I kept coming back. I'm not gonna get discouraged. It did bother me for so long because I seen guys on the show and they weren't good. They were. It was just. It's a waste of a spot. It pisses me off. Like seeing people disgrace that ring. Because this is a ring, you know, I helped set up. Like, and I can't even grace this ring with my art.
Right.
I can't even paint on this picture. But then you guys like that, like come in sloppy and dropping shit, like not good, like wasting people's time. People want you. It may not be a lot of money that they're paying, $5 a ticket, $10 a ticket, but you know what? I want to ensure everybody gets their money's worth. I want people to feel some kind of emotion. But then you got half-assers who go in there and it's just like you're wasting a spot. And this is me on the outside watching in, hungry. Like, nah, I want this. Like, I'm gonna keep coming back. And then every little chance I get, I'm gonna outsell, I'm gonna outclass, and I'm gonna outwork whoever I have to. Like, you know, I don't look the look. But I'm gonna walk the walk. It's just how I am. And then back to PSG is another guy. It's just like, all right, I'm in these trenches. I don't really see that much. I don't really don't get me wrong.
But this is his dream.
It's his dream, right? Oh, he has his own cameraman. I don't want my own cameraman. I don't want to.
You want the camera.
I want everybody to take their cameras out and see this and go back and say, hey, you got to see this guy.
Put out the footage for you.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with it. It's like, okay, you're making your pro debut. That's great. And you bring your own fan base, your supporters, like you say, that's great. But who are you supposed to get over with? Us. Yeah. The people, like you said, you got to know your audience. Mm-hmm. We're the audience.
We're there every single show.
We're the ones who are there every single show.
And plus, us, we're trying to interview guys and, and
you know what?
Grow our name. And so you think you want to get good over with guys like us.
They don't even know about us. You know what I mean? Like, we're there, we're watching, we're observing, they have no idea. But I mean, it's like, okay, here's my problem with it, basically, is like, you bring your friends and they come in and they're like belligerent or whatever, right? And the people you're supposed to be getting over with are the veterans, the bookers, and the audience that are there. And when they hijack the show, basically, and literally almost pretty much bury all the other wrestlers.
Not me. They weren't changed PSG in my match.
Except the captain.
And then the audience that's there who don't know who he is. He's supposed to be getting over with us. We don't know who he is. And like those kids literally like came over to our section. We're like trying to start a fight. Like,
yeah.
And it's
hey, I'm gonna let all y'all know. Next time y'all come over in our section, we are not playing that shit. We're wearing the red Social Suplex shirts.
We're ready to shoot.
It's like how's that gonna help you in your career to take you for? It gives you a good moment. I'm sure you probably felt really good, but
it's a good YouTube video.
It's a great YouTube video, but 5 years from now, you're still gonna be doing this after that.
Yeah,
I hope you are. I mean, he's got the pink shirt gimmick and the cancer thing. Like, that's a great cause.
We're not opposing cancer.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole pink shirt deal. All right, we understand that. We support that part 100%.
And as a wrestler, I don't know him, so like I'd probably support him. But that fan base that he brought with him, literally it was one of the most.
That just made me want to boo him.
It made me literally want to boo him, and I don't even know him.
And then you're talking about the etiquette after the show. He just chilling with his homeboys. You're breaking down the ring.
Yeah, you're making your pro debut, bro, and I don't see you putting up chairs. I don't see you talking to fans. I don't see you doing anything. And I'm sorry, that's just real. You're over there with your fraternity guys who are all.
I'm studying. I'm watching the competition. I'm looking at the David Mercury matches. I'm looking at
David Mercury.
Shout out to David Mercury.
I love David Mercury.
Yes,
the technical. I'm learning. Yeah. I'm learning. And you gotta learn from the competition. You gotta see the competition. You gotta see what's out there. Seeing what they bring to the table. Seeing what they work with. How can you match that? So I'm trying to improve my game. I'm looking at the people. I'm looking at the wrestling. Seeing what works. For me, I'm a little confident in myself. I'm not gonna lie. In some aspects, but I still want to improve. Because like I said, I want all the belts. I want the top spot. For him, it's just like, do you want the top spot like I do, or you just want a couple YouTube videos? Like,
I mean, I feel like if it was me and I was in that same position, I had friends who were acting belligerent and literally being like disruptive to the show and disrespecting other performers, other guys who, like, we've talked to, like a Troy Hollywood, a guy who like started at the bottom and worked his way up to the top, and he's the man, and your fan base is disrespecting him. Why don't you go out there and tell your buddies? Yo.
Send a text. Something.
Yeah. No, because you gotta have your moment. You gotta have your moment after you already had your moment, and you're gonna put it on your blog, you're gonna put it on your Facebook and your Instagram and all that. It's cool.
Get your little likes.
Yeah, I'm not in this for the likes though. I'm in this for the world champion. If I'm not in this for the world champion, what am I doing this for?
Exactly.
And for him, it's just like my God, you brought your own cameraman, man. Like, it bugs me out because maybe I'll hand my phone off, like, record my match so I can go back and watch it, study it.
Yeah.
Like, improve my game. Like, no, this man was working his own hard cam. Like, it's like, wait a minute.
I don't know, bro. I just feel like in wrestling, like, people, like, look down on, like, that's like the definition of being a mark for yourself. Like, within wrestling, it feels like.
I can't speak for every wrestler, like, but for me, and this match coming up, July 21st, in St. Pete for Pride of Wrestling, it's just like, all right, I see that. Try to pull that on me, because now, all right, you bring in your own crowd. I'm gonna try to outwork your crowd.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can outclass me in front of your people. And that's what I'm bringing to the table. I'm not going to shoot on him. You know what? He's a stretch.
Stretch him.
Yeah, I'm not going to stretch him, Reg.
Let me see your eye.
Give me a rest.
I'm not. I'm just going to go in there and I'm just...
You don't give his cameraman something to record.
Yeah, I'm just going to work, man. I'm going to work this match to work to the top. He's just a stepping stone. If they feel like he's a star and I'm not, I'm going in there to shut them up. That's how I feel. All right. He's tall. He's got a great smile and a nice haircut and got a couple gimmicks.
He's got really cool pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going navy blue and white. I'm going to work. I'm going to work for that top spot. Okay, you got your viral following. I'm earning mine. So I'm not. I don't got Kurt Angle shouting me out. I'm with the workers. I'm representing the working man. I'm representing you guys.
Yeah, viral following is cool, but those people are going to follow you to Ruskin. They're going to follow you to Newport Richie. They're going to follow you to
Panhandle, LA.
Orlando, Jacksonville.
I mean, like I said, it's
or you're going to get over in those markets, brother.
It's fine and dandy. You do good charity work, but wrestling is my work. Like this is.
Yeah.
I almost feel the fact that he supports that is great, but it almost feels like it's cheating. You know what I mean?
Who's gonna boo cancer?
Like, right.
John Cena, man, that's the whole John. He's in his head. Is he John Cena? Does he feel he's John Cena?
Maybe.
It's like
He does a couple Make-A-Wish foundations, like.
it's like cool, man. You got
He's gonna run into the wrong fans one day that don't care nothing about that cancer shit. And then he's gonna be like, "What do I do now?"
I can't be white meat baby face. I can't.
Oh man,
I have to work.
Yeah.
I have to work.
man.
I can't base my work around the people who already know who I am or already know what I'm just a smiling baby face who supports these charities. Nah. I work babyface, and it took a while for me to earn my babyface rep. I didn't do it pushing charities and stuff like that. I push it by getting my ass whooped by everybody left and right. I wouldn't even say selling. These guys I felt like they were out to get me. Like, I got stretched, I got shot on, I got it all.
Wow.
But I keep coming back. Why? I love it, and I want to be at the top. If I gotta deal with that, so be it.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like, from a professional standpoint, I hope he does have a successful career. I hope anybody that goes into this industry, I don't wish ill on anybody, but I'll tell you what, the way that he did it, that show we're at, that's not how you do it. We've been watching this, and we're just fans. We're we're not in the position you are, but been watching this for a while, and I'm going to tell you that's not how you get it.
like that wouldn't get
That's
over
not
with.
how you get it.
Like,
The social suplex.
Oh, it wasn't over with us at all.
yeah. It was clearly see through, and I don't know who he was wrestling, but I thought that guy was actually the star of the match.
Yeah,
Mercer.
JT Mercer.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out JT Mercer. We called out the V trigger, and he
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he was the star of the match
And I was
because
like,
he
this
was
is the guy who gets it.
like, it felt like he was clearly leading the thing, and just looking at it. So I wanted to make sure he got his props here. So
I think they're training partners, from what I understand, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I was on this blog because I was.
I only been to the school a couple times. Like, I don't know. Like,
So you said July 21st, PSG versus Aaron Nova. And
no. I gotta see, but that's what I'm talking. I gotta stop you right there now because it's Aaron Nova versus PSG.
Ooh.
He gets top billing.
Top
Yeah,
billing.
I'm sorry.
You're on the left side of the flyer, right?
I'm the working man. Like, literally, like the last flyer, I was at the bottom right corner. Mm-hmm. Now they put me at the top second. What changed? Is it because of him? No, it's because I'm good at what I do and I'm confident in my ability. He's getting a match with me. So, it's how he's going to carry himself and how is he going to carry himself after that. For me, this is a match to elevate myself to that top spot on the flyer.
This kind of reminds me of Tom McGee and Bret Hart.
That might be a great place to leave this. That's a ding ding.
Oh, man.
So, Aaron, go ahead and drop your where people can follow you and check you out.
I'm on Twitter, Aaron Nova, Instagram at Aaron Nova. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Aaron Nova Pro. I'm the captain, man. I'm all around the galaxy, man. I'm looking for the next challenges, man. Wherever show it might be, you can catch me this Sunday at the flea market down in Ruskin, at the Village Shops Inn, at 1 p.m. bell time, DWI Wrestling. I'm going to do my thing. I'm the DWI Light Heavyweight Champion now and forever after.
What's the weight limit?
Don't worry about that. No, we want to see if we get my man Jeremy in there, you know?
205, man. Under the 205 limit, Jeremy.
Let's do it.
John Juris.
Let's work,
Bring back
man.
John Juris.
John Juris come out of retirement.
I have to, man. I'll call you out, man. We can do this right now. I'll call you
Cut
out.
the mic off.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah, but I'll be there. DWI, and it's bi-weekly. Longest running bi-weekly show in the Bay Area. Check that out. Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling, July 15th. I'm still trying to earn it and burn it. Y'all already know. Y'all seen it. Y'all witnessed the hard work. Mm-hmm. You know, I wish everybody in management would see it, but you know what? I'm not a booker. I'm just a wrestler, and I'm going to work. I'm going to constantly work until I get to the top. And then July 21st, Pride of Wrestling. Let me just double check that date for y'all because so many dates. Yep, July 21st, 6 p.m., St. Petersburg, Florida. The Captain Arenova.
Is that a Friday night, Saturday night?
Saturday
night. So Saturday night, July 21st.
Yo, I don't care. By any means necessary, Aaron. Any means necessary. If
You have to win.
If you got to throw powder in his face.
I will.
You got
Any type of underhanded tactics.
will.
Yes.
I can't.
Low blow.
Pull the tights.
Roll them up.
I can't allow a guy.
throw a fireball in his face.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Flamethrower.
I mean, I didn't even want to fight. I didn't even want to wrestle this guy. Like, I don't know where he came about.
Just hit him with a chair if you have to. Like, I don't.
Like, for me, it's just like, I really wanted to crush Fabu. Fabu is the shooting star, whatever his gimmick. That's the guy I really wanted to work. I was pushing to wrestle him. Like, I don't know why they're keeping us apart, but that's the guy I want to settle the score with because he's another one. Okay, you got the abs. You're the pretty boy, but again, I'm the worker here. And I'm gonna try to earn it and burn it. I wanted to roll through him first to show everybody. Like,
Keeping you guys apart like Taz and
Sabu.
There's money.
Yeah, it's a money feud, man.
You gotta build up the anticipation.
I would see, but you know, we got unfinished business. I'm gonna mention him everywhere I go because
Jump him from behind during his entrance. Oh my God.
he's another one, man. Fat shame me, call me out. I don't got abs, but you know what? I'm outclassing, man. That's just so Fabu 100. Another one. I hope you listening. Our paths are gonna cross. We're gonna do our thing, and PSG, I'm gonna get through you first. That's it, man.
Aaron Noah with the smoke.
Yeah.
I want all the smoke. I want all of it.
I don't think we've ever like really buried somebody like this.
Bury PSG, man.
Yeah.
We're setting a precedent right now.
Yeah.
And you know
So
what?
anybody else wants to come on and bury somebody, you know, let us know.
Let us know. You know.
But thank you. I gotta say thank you because that's what's really bothering me. Like, I'm working for this, and this guy got his own hard cam. Like you said, it's cheating. Nah, I don't.
It is cheating because it's like you didn't earn it. You came in and you got third top billing because you're working an online gimmick like a blog, like you said.
Dude, yeah.
But it's like you didn't pay your dues, dude. And hey, if you're listening to this, PSG, we'd love to have you on this show. You come
Bring
on.
him on.
Tell us why.
Tell us why.
You know.
Bring him on. Let's have a debate.
Yes.
I want to sit right across from him.
Yeah. Maybe we can arrange that, and then
Reach out to his people, man.
And,
his organization.
Yeah. Let's see if they can clear it. And you know.
I mean, you know what it is? It's not even like, oh, I want to bring you on so we can
yell at you or sabotage
No,
you.
it's not. No, it's not like we want to bring you on because you got a following. It's just like we love wrestling. You're a wrestler. Let's hear it. That's really all it's really about. You know why we do this? Because we're not getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
So PSG, if you're listening, man, prove it to these people. This is the paying consumers talking right now. They want to see if you're really about it. And then July 21st, man, prove it in the ring to me. Like I said, I don't got the size. I don't got the look. I ain't got none of that, but I'm the Captain Arenova. I'm setting sail. I'm coming in my spaceship, and I'm going to do everything in spectacular fashion. I'm falling with style. That's just how it is. I'm bringing the flavor, hopefully, and I'm bringing the heat.
That's right, guys. So check out the Captain Aaron Nova. Hit him up on all the shows. Follow him on social media. This has been another great episode of Social Suplex Radio. You can follow us at Social Suplex, Facebook.com/Social Suplex. Hit us up in the Wrestling Squared Circle group, Facebook.com/group/Wrestling Squared Circle. Check out all the other shows on the network. Rich hosts One Nation Radio, One Nation Live. We also got a bunch of YouTube videos. The Alexa Bliss rant. Oh, heard that yet? You'll hear that.
He dropped a new music video, please.
Yeah.
Let's plug that. Drop that heat too, man.
Yes. Josh and I host Keeping It Strong Style every Tuesday, covering New Japan.
You know, just a little New Japan show we do every week.
We got Ricky and Clyde from Scotland, the Ricky and Clyde Wrestling Show. We got Rance and Carl, the Outsider's Edge. And we have Jeremy Tate and Chris Bryan in Australia hosting Grown Men Watch This Shit, our independent wrestling podcast, man.
It's a great show.
So check it out.
International, now that you got the Captain Aranova, Social Suplex is
Take this shit into the galaxy out here.
Intergalactic, man. Follow the buzz, man. Definitely. I appreciate
man.
you guys having me.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks.